The Euroden is now open to talk about all the news and views from the world of Eurovision. And who better to lead you through the Euro bubble than the Den Master himself? Yes, it's your Euro host, Joseph Mendy.
Bonjour and greetings to you wonderful people. How's your day going? Fabulously, I hope. Bienvenuti at the Euroden. Today I say hello and welcome in French and Italian. Great to have you here with me once again. In case you're wondering where on earth you have ended up and what you have stumbled into, I'll tell you now. You have just entered the Euroden and I am your Den Master, Joseph Mendy. On the itinerary for today's episode, we'll be looking over some fan polls that have been taking place in the lead up to the contest. And we'll check out some stats related to the participating countries. That and all the happenings regarding Junior Eurovision selection also. Are you sitting comfortably? Good, then we'll begin. First things first, you may remember back in episode 14 that went out during the Easter weekend when I was talking about the interval acts that will be appearing at this year's contest, including Celebration, featuring a selection of Eurovision All-Stars from yesteryear. Well, on Bank Holiday Monday, ORF, the hosting Austrian broadcaster, revealed the exact lineup of All-Stars that will be part of the Celebration act, and I have that list for you now. We have Alexander Rybak, the 2009 winner for Norway with Fairy Tale, who then competed again in 2018 with That's How You Write a Song, and competed in Melody Grand Prix again, Norway's national selection, with the song Rise. Erika Wickman, who placed 11th for Finland last year with Ich Komme. Christian Kostov of Bulgaria, who brought home their best ever finish with Beautiful Mess in 2017, finishing as the runner-up. 2006 winners for Finland, Lordi, are back again with Hard Rock Hallelujah. They also performed in the Walk the Roof interval act in 2021. Max Mutzke finished 8th place for Germany in 2004 with Can't Wait Until Tonight, and trying to represent Germany again in 2024. Mariana Conte, who could forget her? She finished 17th for Malta with her song Serving. And we have from Ukraine, 2004's winner Wuslana with Wild Dancers, and Verka Serduchka, who came second also for Ukraine in 2007 with Dancing Lasha Tumbai. However, those are not the only All-Stars that will be performing during the week of the contest. We also learned that semi-final 1 will be opened by Vicky Leandros. She won the 1972 contest with her song Après Toi, giving Luxembourg their third win and stealing hearts across Europe with her unforgettable voice. She went on to sell 55 million records and 466 albums in 8 different languages, as well as performing concert tours spanning the globe. But for the opening of semi-final 1, she'll be singing her hit 1967 entry for Luxembourg, L'amour est bleu, which soared to number 1 on the US Billboard charts in an instrumental version by Paul Moriat. It was a top 40 hit in Austria, Belgium, Canada, Japan and Germany, and became one of Eurovision's most beloved anthems of all time. And of course, 1967 was the first time that Vienna hosted the Eurovision Song Contest. It is a tradition here in our Eurovision bubble that we have a series of fan polls that run during the months leading up to the contest. The main fan polls that are run annually are the OGAE poll, the INFE poll, INFE, Eurovoix Euro Jury, and Wiwibloggs Wiwi Jury. There are other polls too, such as the one that is run on EurovisionWorld.com. This segment of the podcast will be dedicated to those polls, starting off with that of OGAE International, known as the Organisation Générale des Amateurs de l'Eurovision, an international network of fan clubs dedicated to the Eurovision Song Contest that was founded in Finland in 1984. It's now by far the world's biggest network of Eurovision fans. This is made up of OGA national clubs from each and every country that participated in the Eurovision Song Contest, as well as the rest of the world. And these were the results, and I'll just run through the top 10. So number 10 was Albania with 68 points. Number 9, Bulgaria with 70 points. Italy at number 8 with 130 points. France, 161 points in 7th. And number 6, Greece with 180 points. I'm not doing the darts call of 180. Oh, very nearly got that far. But anyway, their neighbours, Cyprus, finished above them with 247 points in 5th place. Sweden in 4th with 261 points. Then in 3rd place, Australia with 289 points. Denmark, 355 points in 2nd. And number 1, Finland with 459 points. However, Azerbaijan, Poland, Portugal, San Marino and Switzerland didn't receive any points in the OGAE poll. Looking at the Euro jury conducted by Eurovision fan sites Eurovoix, and this is your top 10 for this one. Let me just find it. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There we go. Moldova is 10th with 142 points. Romania 9th, 166. Albania 208, Cyprus 224, France 248, and your top 5, Sweden 296 points, Greece 309 points, Australia 383 points, Denmark 437 points, and Finland with 531 points. And this is a combination of both the juries and the public online votes. Now let's go to the Wiwi jury, where done by Wiwibloggs. This is made up of 20 members of the Wiwibloggs team from 14 different countries, and they've given a weighting of the songs, and the leaderboard is based on the average score that an entry has gotten. I'll run through the top 10 now. Number 10, Georgia, with an average of 6.92. Number 9, Bulgaria, with an average of 6.94. Then Moldova, 7.08 in 8th. And number 7, Albania, with 7.39 as the average. 6th is Greece, with an average of 7.75. Denmark is 5th, with an average of 7.81. Australia have an average of 8.08 in 4th. Sweden, an average of 8.11, 3rd. Cyprus faring well with the Wiwi jury, with an average of 8.22 in 2nd place. But Finland topped this poll as well, with an average of 8.69. Let me fire up the current state of the Infi poll. That poll is still ongoing. It's the final result is not yet official in regards to the Infi poll. But I can tell you that the current top 5 are Denmark with 66 points, Cyprus with 87 points, Greece with 93 points, Sweden with 95 points, and Finland with 138 points leading this poll too. But that's only after 15 sets of results. So that poll is still ongoing. The Eurovision World.com poll, if I could grab it, looks exactly like this. So I'll do, there are quite a lot of ties here. 123,946 votes have been cast. Pardon the noise. Someone scored a goal in the West Ham Arsenal game. Or anti-Arsenal. Anyway, I digress. Back to the Eurovision World Poll, where the top 3 are Greece with 6%, Denmark with 11%, and Finland with 20% of the votes. So as things stand, it's looking like it's Linda and Petter's to lose.
You can find the Euroden on Instagram. Just go to Instagram and search @Euroden_pod.
Now let's check out some Eurovision stats. Again, EurovisionWorld.com comes handy, but I also want to shout out a content creator that I follow on socials called ESC Ben, who also posts various facts about the contest, particularly when it comes to the contest results. I won't go through all of them, because otherwise we'll be here all day, but let's just go through it now. In terms of the most participations, Germany have participated in Eurovision the most, competing in 68 editions, followed by France and United Kingdom with 67 participations, then Belgium with 66, Netherlands with 65, along with Switzerland, Spain with 64 participations, along with Sweden, and Norway with 63 participations. In terms of hosting this thing, the United Kingdom have hosted the most editions of the Eurovision Song Contest, 9 to be precise, the most recent of which being 2023 in Liverpool on behalf of Ukraine. Talking of Ukraine, they've hosted Eurovision twice, of course, in 2004 and 2017. Ireland and Sweden have hosted Eurovision 7 times, Sweden most recently hosting 2024 in Malmö. Rotterdam 2021, the return of Eurovision after 2020 was cancelled due to COVID. That was the last time the Netherlands, who are not participating in the contest this year, hosted the Eurovision Song Contest. They've hosted 5 times. Luxembourg hosting 4 times rather. Denmark, France, Germany, Israel, Italy, Norway and Sweden have all hosted 3 times. Let's turn to the Eurovision records. The longest song ever in Eurovision, I'm only just going through some of it, not all of them, there's Italy's 1957 entry, Coda della mia chitarra by Nunzio Gallo. That lasted 5 minutes and 9 seconds. That explains why the limit on the songs lasting no longer than 3 minutes. I mean, we've got things to do, people to see and all that. The first ever song in Eurovision Song Contest was performed by Jetty Pearl with De Vogels van Holland for the Netherlands. The 1000th Eurovision song was Every Song is a Cry for Love, Ireland's entry from 2006 by Brian Kennedy. The most points in a Eurovision final was scored by Salvador Sobral with Amar Pelzdorj, scoring a whopping 758 points to bring home Portugal's first and only win to date in the Eurovision Song Contest. The 1,500th song to be participating in the Eurovision Song Contest was That's How You Write a Song, performed by Norway's Alexander Rybak. The 439 points is the most amount of points any country has scored in the Eurovision Song Contest. I'll just verify it. 439 points. Yep, that's the highest any country has scored in the televote in Eurovision history. That was achieved by Ukraine's 2022 winners, Kalush Orchestra, with the song Stefania. But if you want to know the longest title ever in Eurovision Song Contest, and this is going to push me to the limit, and I did pronounce this 2 years ago. Nendes nakuti kumides I timi kumidagi. I'll repeat it again. Nendes nakuti kumides I timi kumidagi. That consists of 55 characters. That's the longest ever title for Eurovision song. And you have Estonia's 2024 act Vis Minus Ampulup to thank for that. Now let's talk about historic qualification rates. Now this is regarding the countries that have taken part in the Eurovision semi-finals. So we're not counting the big 5, or big 4, France, Germany, Italy, Spain and United Kingdom, because they get to bypass the semi-finals. And we're also not counting in the years where a country outside the big 5 has got a fast pass to the final due to winning the previous year. Ukraine have the best qualification rate, though to be fair, Luxembourg also have a perfect record of qualifying from the semi-finals to the final, but Ukraine's is more impressive as they've been competing in Eurovision the longest. They've qualified 15 times out of 15. They've qualified in every single edition that they've taken part in. Then you got Sweden with 93%, qualifying 14 out of 15 times. 2010 is the only L in their copybook. Russia 11 out of 12 times, 92%. Just 2018 being the blip. Bosnia and Herzegovina, 88% of the votes at the time they made the final. In 2016, I believe they failed to qualify. Turkey, 6 out of 7 times, 86%. Now, Greece and Norway both scored 83% qualification rates. They both qualified 15 times and got eliminated at the semi-finals 3 times. Armenia, 81%. Azerbaijan, 75%, but they failed to reach the final for the past 3 years. Serbia, 12 out of 16 times, 75% as well. Then you got Romania with 73%, Moldova, 67%, as with Australia, because Australia haven't made the final for the past 2 contests. And of course, you've got the 2021 where they also failed to qualify for the first time. Poland have a 44% qualification rate, qualifying 8 times. Switzerland 42%, Belgium 40%, Czechia 38%, Ireland 37%, Bulgaria 36%, Latvia 35%, though they've qualified the last 2 editions. North Macedonia 32%, San Marino 27%, and Montenegro 15%. And those are just some of the qualification stats. I probably didn't cover all of them. Well, I'll cover a few more. Lithuania 65%, Israel 62%, and yada yada yada. Denmark 58%, Albania 55%, Netherlands 50%, and Estonia 52%, Portugal 50%, Malta 47%, as with Georgia, Croatia, Poland 44%, all that, yada yada yada. In terms of qualification streaks, starting with the pluses, Ukraine always qualifying, of course, 15. Sweden have a plus 11. Norway with a plus 8. Last not making the final in 2016. Switzerland with a plus 5. 2018 was the last time they failed to qualify. Finland last failed to qualify in 2019 with Dawood, well known for the hit single Sandstorm, you'll remember. But since then, they've been banging in finals appearances like clockwork. A plus 5 for them. Same with Lithuania, who also last failed in 2019, as did Portugal. Then Armenia as well, also not qualifying in 2019. But they have a plus 4 because they didn't take part in the 2021 competition. Estonia failed to qualify in 2021, and they have a plus 4. Austria have a plus 3, but they don't have to worry about the semi-finals this year because thanks to JJ's win, they get a free pass to the final. So Cosmo won't have to worry about that. Since Michael Ben David's elimination from the semi-finals in 2022, Israel have not been on the wrong side of the quota with a plus 3, thanks to Noah Coel, Eden Golan and Yuval Raphael. Greece's last non-qualification was 2023, Victor Vernikos. They have a plus 2, thanks to Marina Sassi and Klavdia. And you can imagine that... Oh, whatever. You can imagine that Achilles will make that plus 3. Latvia, having been in the minnows, we used to struggle to get to the final. Now, thanks to Dons and Tautabatus, they have a plus 2. Luxembourg, returning in 2024, they have a plus 2. Albania, Denmark, Malta, Poland, and San Marino, all with plus 1s. Non-qualifications. Montenegro have the worst of them, with a -6 qualification streak. They've qualified for the final twice, back in 2014 and in 2015 being their last qualification. Azerbaijan a -3. They failed to make the last 3 finals. The last qualification being 2022. Then Australia -2. Last making 2023. Same with Belgium. Same with Czechia. Bulgaria -1, having last made final in 2021. And they did take part in the last 3 contests. Romania and Moldova also have a -1. Last qualifying in 2022-2023 for Romania and Moldova. Then Croatia, Cyprus, Georgia and Serbia all with a -1. A jury and televote disparity. Since under the 50-50 system, we have had 4 jury winners, 4 televote winners, 6 agreed winners, so unanimous winners, and 2 consensus or compromise winners. So the jury winners is songs that won Eurovision by winning the jury votes but not the televote. Televote winners, winning the televote but not the jury. The unanimous winners, the ones that have won both the jury and the televote, and the compromise winners, the songs that win the contest without necessarily topping both the juries and the public voting. So here's each country's last top 5 finish. Austria, Israel, and Estonia, Sweden, and Italy, 2025. Switzerland, Croatia, Ukraine, France, 2024. Finland, 2023. Same with Norway, United Kingdom, and Spain. Serbia, 2022. Iceland, 2021. Netherlands, Russia, 2019. Cyprus, 2018. Same with Germany. Then Portugal and Bulgaria. Moldova, Belgium, 2017. Australia, 2016. Armenia, 2014. Same with Hungary. 2013 for Denmark. Azerbaijan, 2012. Albania, 2010 for Turkey. 2010 for Romania. 2008 for Greece. 2006 for Bosnia-Herzegovina. Malta, 2005. Same with Latvia. Serbia, Montenegro, when they were one country united, 2004. Ireland, 1997. Poland, 1994. Yugoslavia, 1989. Luxembourg, 1988. And Monaco, 1978. Czechia, Belarus, Lithuania, North Macedonia, Slovenia, Slovakia, Georgia, Montenegro, Morocco, San Marino, and Andorra have never finished in the top 5. So those are all your Eurovision stats.
You're listening to the Euroden, the cozy corner of the Eurovision Song Contest.
Like many in the fandom, I have been listening to the songs of this year's competition multiple times, some admittedly more than others, either by free will or by shuffle on the Eurovision 2026 Deezer playlist. But I've also been moving, grooving, twisting, pulsing and shaping my personal ranking, and now today I have locked in my final ranking of Eurovision 2026, which I will share now, and following that, it's community rankings. So, at number 35, Luxembourg. At number 34, Azerbaijan. At number 33, Poland. At number 32, Germany. At number 31, Belgium. At number 30, San Marino. At number 29, Israel. At number 28, Austria. At number 27, Armenia. At number 26, Portugal. At number 25, Croatia. At number 24, Latvia. At number 23, France. At number 22, Ukraine. At number 21, Estonia. At number 20, Bulgaria. At number 19, Czechia. At number 18, Switzerland. At number 17, Albania. At number 16, Cyprus. At number 15, Malta. At number 14, Lithuania. At number 13, Norway. At number 12, Serbia. At number 11, Montenegro. And now my top 10. At number 10, United Kingdom. At number 9, Denmark. At number 8, Australia. At number 7, Italy. At number 6, Romania. At number 5, Sweden. At number 4, Moldova. At number 3, Finland. At number 2, Georgia. And at number 1, it's Greece. So Greece is my winner. But what's the community's winner? Let's start with my Eurovision scoreboard. In 10th place, number 10 is France with 132,598 points. And number 9, Bulgaria with 135,528 points. And number 8 is Australia with 159,645 points. And number 7, Croatia with 165,135 points. And number 6, Cyprus with 180,175 points. And number 5, Greece with 190,613 points. And number 4, Sweden with 219,355 points. And number 3, Romania with 220,352 points. As number 2, Denmark with 289,391 points. And finally, at number 1, Finland with 350,186 points. This is from the 60,187 tops that have been submitted on my Eurovision scoreboard at the time of this podcast. On Eurovision place, the top 10 are as follows. At number 10, Moldova with 616 points. At number 9, Australia with 620 points. At number 8, Greece with 637 points. And number 7, Romania with 638 points. And number 7, that's number 7 for Romania. And number 6, Cyprus, 678 points. And number 5, Bulgaria, 685 points. And number 4, Montenegro with 689 points. And number 3 is Finland with 736 points. Number 2 is Denmark with 759 points. And at number 1, it's Sweden with 776 points. Now, for the community rankings on Europarty, the Europarty app, the top 10 is as follows. Let me just grab it. At number 10 is Albania with 139 points. At number 9 is Croatia, 151 points. A point ahead of them, at number 8, France, 152 points. At number 7, Cyprus with 180 points, maximum darts score. At number 6 is Australia with 216 points. At number 5 is Romania with 220 points. At number 4 is Greece, 10 points ahead with 230 points. Number 3, Sweden, 309 points. The 400 is in the 410 points that Denmark has at number 2. But Finland topped this one with 515 points. On the 459 points, the top 10 for this one. At number 10, Romania with 700 points. At number 9, Montenegro with 724 points. At number 8, Bulgaria with 767 points. At number 7, it's Greece, 830 points. At number 6, France, 901 points. At number 5, Australia, 912 points. Number 4, Denmark with 1,022 points. And number 3 is Cyprus with 1,040 points. And number 2 is Sweden with 1,334 points. And number 1 is Finland with 1,444 points. And on the Eurofans app, your top 10 are as follows. At number 10, Romania with 445 points. At number 9 is Albania with 465 points. At number 8 is Bulgaria with 546 points. And number 7 is France with 557 points. And number 6 is Cyprus with 574 points. And number 5 is Australia with 589 points. And number 4 is Sweden with 703 points. And number 3 is Greece with 742 points. And number 2, Denmark with 556 points. And at number 1 is Finland with 1,000 points. Finally, let's check the global leaderboard in the ESC Discord server. Let's check out the top 3, assuming it works. I hope it does. Oh dear. Sorry, just making sure I go totally right. But rest assured, I will soon have the global rankings. Oh, there we are. Using 1,311 valid rankings, your top 10 is as follows. At number 10 is Moldova with 2,924 points. At number 9, Serbia with 3,189 points. At number 8 is Albania with 3,214 points. At number 7, Greece with 3,424 points. At number 6, Montenegro with 3,622 points. At number 5, it's Croatia with 4,155 points. At number 4 is Romania with 5,571 points. At number 3, Sweden with 5,595 points. At number 2 is Denmark with 5,668 points. And at number 1, it's Finland with 7,686 points. So, looking at all the fan polls, community rankings and whatnot, this very much seems like it could finally be the year that Finland gets that second win that they've been chasing for 20 years. But this is only within the Eurovision fan bubble. Remember, the amount of viewers that watch the Eurovision Song Contest is often in the hundreds of millions. Usually have like 160 million global viewers every year, somewhere in the region like that, sometimes less, sometimes more. So this is only the fandom's rankings in the bubble. But we're only a very small percentage of the wider viewer base. That includes the general public, who often have might not have seen or heard any of the national selections. They might not have kept up with all the fan poll rankings, and they certainly might not have seen or heard any of the rehearsals, unless the footage of the rehearsals wound up on the national news. So the general public often only tune in to the live shows on the nights, and they might paint a very different picture. So we'll have to wait and see what happens.
Come on in and get comfortable in the Euroden.
The Junior Eurovision Song Contest 2026 has its first confirmed contestant, and it has been provided to us by Poland. Last night saw the final of The Voice Kids Poland, with 9 finalists going for the W. There are 2 rounds to this final. Each coach had 3 finalists in their respective teams. They performed, and the coach chose just 1 artist to go through to the super final. These were the results. In Team Blanca, we had Ania Jankowska, Antozia Gobelna, and Alan Lubinski. It was Antozia who Blanca chose to put through. Team Cleo had Leon Skorupski, Ola Pilat, and Olivia Johnson. Olivia was the pick for Cleo. And Team Tribs had Victor Sass, Leon Polikowski, and Amelia Lezica. Victor was the chosen one there. What I gathered in some bubbles, not least in ESC Discord that was discussed watching the show, they were shocked to see the 2 seemingly big favourites, Ola Pilat and Leon Polikowski, get knocked out very early doors. But Ola Pilat, though, did win the online vote award, if I recall. Let me just bring that up. Yeah. Ola won the online audience award from all participants who passed the blind auditions. That means she will get to record her own single and film a music video. But back to our 3 super finalists, Antozia, Olivia and Victor. They performed again, and the Polish viewers voted for their winner by text message, with Victor Sass emerging victorious to take the Voice Kids trophy. But that's just part 1 of the winner's prize package. Along with the trophy, Victor has won a 50,000 zloty bursary towards further music development, a recording contract with Universal Music Polska, and of course the honour of representing Poland at Junior Eurovision 2026. It's the second year in a row that the first confirmed act for Junior Eurovision, officially that is, was a boy, after Croatia was first announced their act for 2025, with Marina Vergoc being their contestant. And now it's happened again with Victor Sass. Oh, and this is only the second, 2026 will only be the second time that Poland are sending a boy to Junior Eurovision. The first boy for Poland at Junior Eurovision, of course, was Dominik Arim, and he came in 12th place with his song Altogether, coming home with 61 points. The song that Victor will be taking to the competition will arrive at a later date, but let's get to know him a bit more right now in the Euroden's very first Junior Eurovision Profile O'Clock. Victor Sass is 13 years old and is described as an energetic, cheerful, brave, sensitive and empathetic child. He began speaking very early, and at just 18 months old, he was already singing. In fact, his first vocal performances took place in kindergarten. He is never bored. He sings, dances, recites, plays football, goes fishing, and cooks delicious spaghetti carbonara. He has been refining his singing for 6 years, and he is a very diligent student, actively participating in school and community life, and is also a volunteer. So he keeps himself quite busy, and he'll be even busier when Junior Eurovision gets close. Still no news on the host country for this year, never mind the date, but it's likely that North Macedonia will be the host country if the reports are true. In terms of dates, I reckon we're looking at a December JESC again, because let's not forget that Eurovision Asia is penciled in for Saturday the 14th of November, which is around the same time that Junior Eurovision often takes place, if not a week and extra days later. But the EBU will want to leave a bit of room between Eurovision Asia and Junior Eurovision. We should learn more during this Eurovision week, hopefully with a Junior Eurovision press conference at some point. But whenever and wherever it takes place, let's wish Victor and Team Poland the very best of luck for the journey ahead. Poland weren't the only ones in action in regards to Junior Eurovision. The Wanina train kept on rolling in Georgia with the third themed tour, which is all about international music, as the 10 singers performed alongside the group The Bookmarks. As always, they were judged on vocals, composition, artistry and expression by a panel of judges. The international music tour took place last Saturday and last night at the time of this recording this podcast. And this is how the leaderboard looks after 3 tours. We have 3 singers on the perfect score of 360 points. That's Anna Tavjuridze, Liliana Chachanidze and Nita Nabashvili. Then Toma Tokadze with 359 points. Zurab Naskidashvili, 358 points. Anna Maria Kukishvili, 357 points. Luka Gutarishvili, 356 points. Elizabeth Zadzamia, 356 points as well. Same with David Lomidze. And finally, Luka Mikadze with 354 points. Remember, it's the top 5 that will progress further in the competition. The 4th and final tour of the series will be based around Georgian movie soundtracks, after which we will know the 5 semi-finalists. But with the Eurovision Song Contest taking place in Vienna next Saturday, Ranina will be on a break, with the show starting up again in 2 weeks' time.
From Eurovision to Junior Eurovision and all the tidbits in between. It's all here in the Euroden. Want even more Eurovision goodness? Follow the Euroden on Instagram @Euroden_pod.
Okay, that is that as far as today's episode is concerned, but just before I dash off, I'll just run down what our artists will be up to over the next 6 days and nights. Tomorrow, that's Monday, the countries in semi-final 1 will perform in the Jewelry Show. Then on Tuesday, they'll do the Family Show in the afternoon and the live show in the evening. The acts in semi-final 2 will have their jury show on Wednesday, and then the afternoon family show, followed by the evening live show on Thursday. For the countries that do make it through to the grand final, there's the ordeal of doing one more jury show on Friday before Judgment Day on Saturday, with the afternoon family show, and then in the evening, the most important live show of their lives, where the eventual winner is crowned. As for this podcast, here are my plans for the week ahead. The next time you hear from me will be on Tuesday, as I look ahead to semi-final 1 with rankings and predictions on how it could play out. On Wednesday, we'll come together to recap the show and reflect on the results. That pattern I shall repeat for semi-final 2, with preview on Thursday and the review on Friday. All being well, we'll preview the grand final, including a look at the running order once qualifiers are known, and of course, the final ranking and predictions. That's on the Saturday. And then on Sunday, in the last show of the series, we will reflect on the grand final and go over the semi-final results. Now, I am up to the eyeballs with my final major projects at college, and I have my little brother's christening on the day of the final. But being the dedicated Euro fan that I am, I will be watching the final on my phone. With all that being said, though, there will be times that I will be pre-recording some of the preview and review episodes ahead of time, so that they are ready to hit the airwaves. This is the week that gets the most hectic for the artists, delegations, broadcasters and content creators, both established and newcomers. So do wish us all luck. Anyway, that really is all I have time for you, and I shall now take my leave. As always, I leave you with the usual reminders. If you liked what you heard, leave a review and rating in the comments section wherever possible you are listening. And of course, there's our Instagram page at Euroden_pod for more content. I'll be back with you on Tuesday to preview semi-final 1. I'll see you then, but for now, as they say in Norway, adieu. Goodbye for now.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Euroden. We'll see you in the den next time.